weeping woman, better known as La Llorona in Mexico and all across Latin America. The story goes that the most beautiful young woman of the town, named Maria, was looking for a husband. Many tried to impress her, but none met her extremely high standards. That was until she met a high-ranking soldier. They got married, and soon they had 2 children. One day the husband left the town, but after time he returned on a horse with a woman behind him. Maria found out that this was his new wife. Maria took care of the children, and the father would return only for them. Maria grew jealous, and one day she took the children to the river. There she told them to hold their breath and go into the water. As they did, she kept their heads in and let them drown. She went home, letting her children's corpses float away along the river stream. Realizing what she did, she ran back, but it was too late. For days and nights she went up and down the river to find her children. Even long after she died, her spirit continues to look for her children, crying through the trees. The kids nowadays are warned to never be out late, or else La Llorona will take them to never be seen again. My father told me this story when he was a little boy in Mexico. A little setting of the town. It's a poor town. There's a gravel road and very little to no light posts. The neighborhood is roughly 2 miles away from the center where all the marketplaces are. The road that goes to the center has a heavily forested area to the right and an open area to the left. So one night my father was sent to get some groceries. I think it was eggs. He walked a little uneasy, but when you're young and alone in a creepy road, you can't help but feel creeped out. He got to the center, got the groceries, and began the long, creepy walk home. But this time, he felt even more uneasy, the feeling of being watched. He got closer to his neighborhood as he could see the lights, but suddenly he could hear a cry which sounded like his older sister. He went and followed the source closer to the woods. There, he saw a girl in a white dress roughly 15 feet away from him. "Hermana, ¿por qué lloras?" No answer, just sobbing. He stepped closer, and all of a sudden the girl dissolved. My father was scared to the very bone. He bolted to his house and slammed the door. His heart was pounding and adrenaline was rushing. My grandmother began to ask him what was wrong. Suddenly, she stopped. The woman's cries could be heard, but they weren't coming closer. They were going faint. And that was the last time he went out late at night. El Coco, also known as El Cucuy, is another boogeyman-like legend. The story goes about a Spanish man named Miguel was discharged from the army and ended up homeless. He had a strong hatred for the indigenous people. Soon, hunger and his anger exploded, and he began to kidnap indigenous kids who were alone at night and would eat them. For many years, countless children went missing, and no one knew why. The story went around, and they called him El Coco, which translates to demon. Soon, the townspeople found out and took matters into their own hands. They caught him in the act and beat him. Then they hung him. But that was not the end of this story. Soon, countless reports of paranormal events sprung. Children continued to disappear in ways that could not be explained. Now, he devours disobedient kids and takes their souls to hell. I am currently 18, and I started listening to some music when I remembered something from my early childhood. A little backstory. I was scared of all things horror, so I would avoid Halloween stores and such. I was also mute. This becomes important. A little layout of my home. If you walk through the main door and look to your immediate left, you'll see the kitchen and living room. Once in the living room, you'll see a long hallway. The first door you see leads to my room. My parents' room was just to the left from mine. Also note that my parents are extremely heavy sleepers, but noises around the house tends to wake them up. When I was young, I would stay up late watching cartoons since I didn't have school and I had a TV and a room to myself. If I had to guess, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, so pretty late or early. I got up to get some water, and as soon as I opened the door, I freeze. I see a black figure at the end of the hallway. I try to make out what it is. Suddenly, it turns around. All I see is a white and elongated face. It had no eyes, but I knew it was looking at me. I could see that his hands were sort of gray, but in one hand he had something long and reflective in a triangular shape. He raises his arms and makes this noise that I cannot explain, but it was loud and echoey. I could feel the lump in my throat, the need to scream, but nothing coming out but air. I quickly slam the door shut and lock it and dash for my bed. After that, my memory gets really fuzzy. I could say that I heard a knock at my door or my doorknob beginning to shake, but nothing happened. I asked my parents if we were ever robbed or anything, but they could not recollect anything. I don't know if this was a paranormal encounter or robbery. Some things lean more to one side, but sometimes the other, but it never adds up. If this was a robbery, then why wasn't anything missing? Why didn't my parents wake up to the weird sound or the slamming of my door? If this was paranormal, why did I only see it once? I guess it doesn't matter, but that mask I will always see on Halloween, and that noise will always be stuck in my head. Hello everyone, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Have a good one, and remember, you should always fear the dark.
Todos me dicen el negro, Llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Todos me me dicen el negro, Llorona, negro pero cariñoso.